Welcome to our God-inspired teaching series, A Christian's Two Natures. Lesson number 7, Mature Christians. The following illustrates a mature Christian's divine nature being in total control. As I prepare for this lesson, I come to the realization I have a long way to go before becoming a mature Christian. However, I'm going to continue striving for perfection, knowing in due season I will reap if I faint not. A mature Christian will emulate the character of Christ in their daily life, which is the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, gentleness, goodness, and meekness. The works of the flesh have been completely eradicated in a mature Christian's life by a continual lifestyle of prayer, Bible reading, fasting, and by using spiritual authority to make the enemy their soul powerless in their life. Following are the traits of a mature Christian. They're not easily offended. John 16:1, These things I have spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. Mature Christians do not harbor unforgiveness or bitterness. Ephesians 4:31-32, Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you, with all malice. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake has forgiven you. Mature Christians are not judgmental, condemning, or critical. Luke 6:37, Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Mature Christians are spiritually minded, not carnally or fleshly minded. Romans 8:5-6, For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Mature Christians thinketh no evil. 1 Corinthians 13:5-6, Doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Mature Christians are not conformed to this world. Romans 12:2, And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what that is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. A mature Christian speaks not evil. Titus 3:2, To speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men. James 4:11, Speak not evil one of another, brethren. Ephesians 4:29, Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Mature Christians do not compare themselves against other Christians. 2 Corinthians 10:12, For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves. But they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves amongst themselves are not wise. Mature Christians have humbleness of mind. Colossians 3:12, Put on therefore as elect of God, holy and beloved bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering. Mature Christians have learned to be content in all things, knowing their steps are ordered by the Lord. Philippians 4:11, Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, and whatsoever state I'm in, therewith be content. Psalms 37:23, The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Proverbs 3:5-6, Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Mature Christians keep their temple holy. 1 Corinthians 6:19. What? Know ye not your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit which is in you, which you have of God, and you are not your own? 1 Corinthians 3:16 through 17. Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. 1 Peter 1:15 through 16. But as he which has called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation, because it is written, Be ye holy, for I am holy. Mature Christians present their bodies a living sacrifice. Romans 12:1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Mature Christians minister to others. Matthew 20:28. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and give his life a ransom for many. Mature Christians have learned obedience to the will of the Father. Hebrews 5:8 through 9. Though he were a son, yet learned he obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obeyed him. John 5:30. Because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which has sent me. Mature Christians are mature in faith or trust in the Father. John 2:13. I'm writing to you who are mature in faith. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Jude 20. But ye, beloved, building up yourselves on your most holy faith, praying in the Holy Spirit. Mature Christians are not bottle-fed babies, but eat solid food. Hebrews 5:14. Solid food is for those who are mature, who through training have the skill to recognize the difference between right and wrong. Hebrews 5:12 through 14. For when for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracle of God, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. For every one that useth milk is unskilled in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Mature Christians strive for perfection. Ephesians 4:13. That we will be mature in the Lord, measuring up to the full and complete standard of Christ. Paul said in Philippians 3:12, I don't mean to say I'm perfect. I haven't learned all I should even yet, but I keep working towards that day when I will finally be all that Christ saved me for and wants me to be. This concludes lesson number 7, Mature Christians. This also concludes our series, A Christian's Two Natures. Thank you for listening, and please have a blessed day.